Hey, how's it going, everyone? Since Elesis got her spirit, she's going to be slotted into World Boss Season 2, Phase 2. So right now, there are two comps you can use with Elesis S. You can do Elesis S, Tia T, Myrielle, or Nellia T. That would be for like the casual players, like majority of fan base. And then there'll be the other try-hard, or I guess more manual play type of lineup, which would be EO instead of Tia T, which you could just slot in. Majority of the player base already know how she works, but for video purposes, I'll just be showcasing, this comp is much easier to use and you don't really have to do manual play or like focus on the party skills at all. So I'll be just showing the quick builds that I have. Elsa's S, she's still on 2 blue to red. If you have green set, which is the boss set, increased damage increase, I would use that instead. I just don't want to use resources for a unit that might get power crept in a couple months because I already know how this is gonna go. So I'm just keeping her on 2 blue to red for now. She has the usual cooldown reduction, special cooldown reduction ring, crit necklace. She's on the plus 10 damage give increase for exclusive weapon. Here's the nodes that I have so far. For the priority on nodes, I would say probably D10 because this is like a really stacked, and then probably D8 into maybe D3. It really depends. Like I just do the majority of the priorities. It's always going to be like D8, D10, D5, D3, and then this D9 is actually really good as well. This actually helps EO a lot. So it's definitely really nice to use if you're going to do the EO comp. Here's the Chaser Haver on. Always want to have the maximize because for the maximize, it's going to pair really well with the trans trait over here because you need to maximize 3 times to increase your critical damage. So it really stacks. You want to stack it up as early as you can. And then I just do the boss damage increase. There's really nothing else you can use here. Like this is kind of trash to me. I already tried it. This is like, I guess for PvP purposes. And then that'll be pretty much it. Here's the hero traits I have her on. We're gonna go into Tia T now. Tia T has the same thing as Elsa says, 2 blue, 2 red. Cooldown reduction, special cooldown reduction, necklace and ring. I didn't show this on Elsa's S, but they both run basic damage increase. I just switched that for Elsa's S now because she scales a lot with it since she's like a DPS orientated assault. I have the usual physical attack, damage given increase. We're gonna go into trans traits now. This is the bare like recommended. Just keep this, you'll be fine. Here's the chaser. Always have prayer blessing all the way up. The 1-4, impulse and connection, then both the chaser traits, and then they'll be good to go. And then this is what I have for like the hero traits, which doesn't really matter that much at all. And then this would be Myrielle. She's going on cooldown reduction, full like support, DPS, which she always has been. Here's the spirits. All nodes are max. The transcendent traits. Always have these. Both of these always. You don't need execution at all in Myrielle, honestly. Every time she's on the lineup, she's always going to be paired with EO, and EO's obviously going to be doing way more damage than her, so just have her on helper to begin with. Even with this setup, LSS is still be doing more damage than Myrielle, but all the runs I've done, helper has always had the most damage output. Here's her chaser, always run elevated power, pure luck, connection, impulse, and then both the chaser traits here. Don't do prayer blessing. She doesn't really have any buffs or any buffs at all, so it'd be like a waste to have it here. Here's the level traits that I have. Bare minimum here. And then we'll go on the Nellia T. It says oh, apologies, I forgot to go back to Myrielle. She's gonna be rocking full CDR, just in case you didn't see by the little note I have here, and then that'll be it. Full CDR here for the accessories as well, and then 1 crit ring. There'll all be basic attack damage increase. And then for Nellia T, she'll be running the special cooldown reduction ring. two cooldown reductions for the necklace and earrings. It says max CDR here, but I switched her for the special skull cooldown reduction for the video. You could still have her on cooldown reduction. It'll probably be like the same output, honestly. I run her like two blue, two red, or I guess it would be two pink, I guess. Just for the skill cooldown reduction, two sets for each here. And then for the transcendent trait, always have this. When SP is at 3 or below, gain 0.5 SP per second. Because Nellia T has trouble generating SP, like I would say the first 5 to 7 seconds of the game. So this really helps a lot. It's kind of like the same thing as Amy, where they have trouble generating SP at the start, even if they're in soul improve mode. It takes a little bit for them to get up to speed. And for T6, always have this for bossing purposes only, unless it's like a niche content where you need to use, 7% imprint resources when we used to do that for main T, but always just have this. This will be fine. And then we will be having Chaser, pretty much the same thing, just have Impulse, both the Chasers max per blessing, pure luck. I just had this on Helper because I've had this on Nelly for a long while. I don't think it matters if you put it on anything else, honestly. But yeah, that'll be pretty much it. All right, I'll be showing the video now or the gameplay. Enjoy. Okay, so now that we start, the alt rotation will be Nellia T into Elesis S, Myrielle, and then Tia T. The main reason the alt rotation is like this is because Tia T's alt only helps against rangers, and it's only rangers and mages where Elesis S does not, fit in that situation at all. But this is majority how it runs. I'm just waiting for, I guess, the golden area. Pop in TAT's ult now. She will be the last ult to use, obviously. So what you want to do is you never done this phase. You can just lure the little mobs. Those little mobs that spawn is usually 3 that spawn. You want it to be in the golden area because once he does this little animation at the end, you get a DP buff, if the minion was inside the golden area of effect. With no EO, it's way easier to do this now. You basically just have to lure it a little bit, cross, and then you'll be able to get it go. As you can see, there's a DP buff on the left-hand side. You're still doing the regular ult rotation. There's only like a couple times where I messed up with the positioning of like the mob, so it might take you a couple times to get used to it. But there's not really anything that pushes the mobs back. Maybe Myrielle is the one that pushes it back, but there's really no knockback, which is like great for this phase. Also, if anything, you want to save Elsa's S ult right before you get the DP buff, because for the TT trait, I believe, on Executioner, you get a boss damage increase of 20%. So it really stacked with the DP buff you get here. You want to keep your soul imprint duration as much as you can. I believe with Nelly T you can do it 3 times, but if you have it 2 times as well, that's fine. It'll be like a 10% like increase. As you can see, I lure all my group to the far end of the golden area, so I won't have trouble with the mobs getting out of that area. Because if you don't complete the little test he has over here, then your whole entire team would just be like silenced, and then it'll just be like the run is over and you'll just have to retry. So you can see he's already in the middle of the area. That was actually a kind of close one. I should have moved it, but that'll be pretty much it. Just doing the last bit of rotation here. Just popping Elsa's S all just for the maximum damage at the end. And actually, that's a pretty solid run, actually. Here's the damage that they did. Actually, pretty impressed with Elesis. I was surprised she did that much. But yeah, that'll be it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave it down below in the comments.